What's happening, my people? What's happening, my people? Welcome. It's the one and only Mind Muscle Motivation. Again, that's Mind Muscle Motivation. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And hey, I'm all about progressing, getting better. And you see this right here? See that right there? No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. This dude is lifting weights. But let me tell you something, it's not showing. He's lifting weights, but I don't have any type of symbol to show lifting weights of the world. But that's why I'm here, to be your spotter. So let's lift the weight of the world together. And I'm not the strongest, but that's why there's two of us. It's me, it's you, it's us. So let's get better. Today I wanted to discuss setting boundaries, setting a culture for people, for your child, even for people at your job, just setting boundaries. Now, let me tell you something. I had to learn the hard way of what it's like setting boundaries and creating a culture and setting precedents for people. Now, I'm one to really think before I react, and I don't condone any type of violence, and which is why I'm not going to be telling my son, if somebody calls you out of your name, you got to put the pause on them. No, because I now understand, now that I'm older, and now that I see what type of people there are in the world. Let me get my glasses real quick. Now, there's people who want to get underneath your skin. There's people that like to that like to push buttons. There's people who aren't happy with themselves. So, of course, they project that unhappiness upon you. And until you're unhappy with them, they won't leave you alone. And I get all that, which is why I'm a type of person who I practice self-control when it comes to being called out of my name, when it comes to being disrespected, when it comes to having buttons pushed, all of that. I meditate, I breathe, I practice on my breathing. And that's why you won't see me become a type of person who's filled with rage and who has like a quick fuse to where I'm always just jumping on people, because that gives the other person control. Now that is my culture, if you will. Now, when it comes to setting boundaries, let me tell you something. The stuff I had to learn the hard way, like being ignored from people and understanding that people make time for what they want to make time for. Let me say that again. People will make time for what they want to make time for. Believe you me, they will. If it's important, they'll find a way to make time. And if it's something that they really value, they will find time to let it be known that whatever it is, if it's you, whatever it may be, they value it or even you. They will show. So don't let that go over your head. Don't let that be something that you have to learn the hard way, like myself. Again, people will make time for what they want to make time for. So don't let yourself go all your life being rejected or being pushed off to the side or being told that, I'm busy. Hold on, give that a second. I'm busy. All throughout my high school years, middle school years, hell, probably even elementary years if I can remember. I'm talking about guys and girls. It always seemed like I had time for people and they never had time for me. It seems like I always had time for them, but they never had time for me. Do not let yourself believe that I'm busy is a reason why people aren't making time for you. Again, people will make time for what they want to make time for. So enough with that. Go on back and listen to it. Rewind it. You got to let it be known right off the bat, and I'm talking about early on. When you meet somebody new, when you get into a new relationship, I do believe that it is very important to let it be known what you will allow and what you won't. Because in life, you get what you allow. So if somebody starts disrespecting you, You let them do it. If somebody starts to unappreciate you, you let them do it. You gotta you gotta correct people firsthand, unfortunately, because I think we as people, we just get comfortable doing things, and a lot of times we don't realize it. We're unaware of what we're doing, and that's because we're not being corrected properly, and we're not being shown the proper ways of how to treat and value and appreciate people. We don't naturally know how to do these things until we're corrected. That's what I believe. Even myself, I don't always value people. I don't always appreciate people and those that I should. But I'm working on it, and that's why we're talking about it. So you gotta set boundaries, and when I say set boundaries, the term itself, it sounds like you're letting people know the time or the rules in which you're setting in between the two, which in a way, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's also for me, it's also that and some, amongst other things. Now, when I say you gotta set boundaries, I'm not just talking about uh, oh, you can't come over at this time, or you got to give me my space. No, that's not what I mean when I say you have to set boundaries. Everything that I mentioned before is setting boundaries for me. Now, letting people know that you need your space and that you need your time, that all comes along with everything that I just said. It's all about just letting it be known how you want your life to be while they're in it. It's all about letting it be known how what you're going to allow and what you won't. To me, that's setting boundaries. So don't let that term get twisted up in which what I'm saying, because it does make sense. You just have to really think about and meditate and study what I'm saying, because I did it before I started talking. I really had to sit here and think, what does boundaries really mean for me? And what will it mean for whoever that's listening? And it can mean all different kinds of things for different people. But hopefully, what I'm explaining kind of goes hand in hand with what the term is and how it's stated and how it's used. So, listen, when I was young, like I said, I always had time for people. And when I was young, I always gave people second chances. And even now that I'm 32, I always say, okay, possibly it's this, or possibly they're doing that, or what if. I always create a what if type of thing that I have in my mind. And really, I'm just giving people excuses. That's all. And it's even with the people that I love. And it's definitely with my 3-year-old son. Now I know he's still learning. His brain isn't even fully developed, but these are the important years that I believe that I have to set boundaries for him, for us, as a son and as a dad, and as a dad and a son. But he's just he I have to let it be known what he can and what he can't do. That's setting boundaries. That's setting rules and the do and don'ts. And it's just like with people. You have to let them know the do's and the don'ts when it comes to you. You have to create that culture, and people will walk all over you, boy. And a lot of times I think people will stay in your life because what you allow them to do. And even if it's not something that is beneficial to you, I think a lot of people will stay in people's lives that let them run and walk all over them, let them come into their life whenever they want. And that was something that I struggled with. I mean, I'm talking about even into my early 20s, especially when it came to relationships, and of course when it came to friendships as well. I'm just a nice, forgiving person. Believe it or not, I really am. But I think that was a reason why a lot of people would leave and then come when they wanted. I didn't set any boundaries. I got what I allowed. And a lot of people just came when they wanted. And, for the friendships, a lot of the homies, they would, get out of their relationships. And what would they do? They would come right on knocking to, to pressure, when they wanted somebody to confide in and listen to the problems. Hey, I'm told I'm a good listener. So it's not something that I'm bragging about. It's not something that I'm sitting here, being arrogant about. I'm always told that I'm a good listener, and good listeners, they get taken advantage of. We do. We do. Because a lot of people, they don't necessarily want to talk. They just want to open up and they just want you to be there. A lot of people just want to hear themselves talk, really. They don't want answers. They just want to talk. They just want to vent. They just want to let it out. And that was always me. And I never set a boundary for that because a lot of times I had problems too. A lot of times I wanted to talk about things too, but I didn't. And ironically enough, yeah, listening to the problems, it helped me fix my own, because I know a lot of times we as people, when it comes to problems, we can fix our own and we can forget about our own just by letting somebody else open up to theirs. But that's not what this is about. Because, again, good listeners get taken advantage of. And I had a lot of lonely nights. I had a lot of lonely days because I never set a boundary. I'm talking about a lot of people just wanting to come out of nowhere. I believe it or not, I have a life. There's things that I would be doing, but I would drop everything. I would drop everything to help someone else and forget about myself. I'm quick to sacrifice, and you, whoever may be listening, you may be quick to sacrifice. And while that is okay, and I don't knock it, and I won't sit here and tell you don't sacrifice, because in life that's what you have to do at one point or another. But you have to set a boundary, and you have to know who to continuously sacrifice for. Do not, let me tell you, do not keep sacrificing for someone who won't sacrifice even the littlest things for you. Just don't do it. Don't be like me, and you have to continue doing it over and over before you finally realize that this person isn't valuing you the way you value them. Don't be like me. Please don't. Because you will have a long period and a lot of moments in life where you really question, what am I doing wrong? And you're not doing nothing wrong. Okay? Listen, you're not doing nothing wrong. You're just a very helpful, caring person who doesn't like seeing other people unhappy. That is completely okay. I promise you, that is completely okay. So don't go thinking nothing's wrong with you. But you have to set a boundary, and you have to finally start thinking about you. You have to. It seems selfish, and you'll have times in life where you're really questioning whether or not are you selfish, and you're not. You're not. To think about yourself is completely okay. And again, these are things that I had to learn the hard way. And I lived an insane life. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And boy, let me tell you, that's exactly what I was doing. Exactly what I was doing. And even now, I have to catch myself and stop myself, because I'm still doing it now. I have a very hard problem with letting people that I love and care about kind of treat me a certain way that I don't like. And when I don't like to be treated a certain way, I can become petty, or I can be disrespectful. And I really hate that about me, but I don't know how to react any other way because, like I said, I don't turn into violence. I don't turn to violence like quickly. That's really something that takes a lot because my buttons I don't let be pushed easily. So instead, my attitude would change, and that's because I haven't set a boundary and I haven't set rules, and that's really what it is. It's just rules. You can't just let people walk all over you, and you can't just let people treat you any type of way. It's a cliche, but treat people how you want to be treated. Treat people how you want to be treated. You hear it all the time, and it sounds corny, but it's really true. And you have to do that. You really have to. I wish I can go back in time as a little kid, and I would I would go out of my way to want to play with someone, and then soon as a different group of other kids come along, that one person I wanted to play with, they would just up and leave me like I didn't exist, and it 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 pretty much transgressed over. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. It pretty much went into my adult years. Unfortunately, it did because that's exactly what people would do. Like I said earlier, when it came to, uh, whatever the homies being in relationships, as soon as another female come along, I mean, I'm talking about ghosting like nobody business. And of course, when it came to relationships, that back and forth thing was something that I definitely didn't set a boundary with. A lot of people do not know what they want. Let me tell you, hurt other people, confuse other confused people, confuse people, confuse people. You know, it just, it's an ongoing process that if you don't fix, you will continue to be one of the people in that triangle full of toxic and full of just, oh man, it's a mess, and you'll become a mess if you don't correct people. You'll become a mess. You'll become messed up just like them. And I'm not sitting here judging, and I'm not sitting here talking about other people because I became a confused person dealing with another confused person. I became toxic dealing with a toxic person, and a lot of times we don't know that's what we're becoming. But I think you can be aware of what you're becoming by how the person that you're with and how they're acting. Because a lot of times how people act is a reflection of how you're treating them. I think so. So hopefully, I mean, I'm almost like, I'm not almost, I'm always praying that whatever I discuss can be of service to someone, just someone. There's billions of people out there, and I just really hope somebody came across this channel and really took everything I said into thought, into consideration. Set boundaries, people. Set them, and set them early on. Don't wait. Don't wait to be mistreated to finally want to speak up. You know, I think a very courageous, a very smart person will tell that person what they don't like and what they do like early on so they can know and just repeat it. Let it be known every other day. Hell, let it be known every day if you think that's the right way. So I know I skipped the introduction, but this is Mind Muscle Motivation. And if you're looking to have that muscle motivation, go ahead and reflect on the many other videos that I've made in the gym, in the comfort of my home. I will get back to it. Trust me, I will get back to it. The muscle motivation, that's just my lifestyle. It's something that's a part of me, and it's what I do, and a lot of it is who I am. But right now, I'm really trying to dissect. I'm really trying to dissect the mind, and I'm really trying to get the mind motivation out of life, because that's what it's all about. You get a strong mind, strong body, strong body, strong mind. It is absolutely true. And that's why I hope I can be a service to you, and hopefully we can grow together. We can get better. Like, subscribe, share. Again, like, subscribe, share. That's not only lift weights, okay? You see them? You see them? Let's not only lift weights. Let's lift the weight of the world together, okay? Together. You are not alone. I'm not alone. We have each other, people. I'm hoping to build a community of mind, muscle, motivationers out there. So until next time, like I said, I'm always trying to pick out very important topics that we face every day in life, every day, whether it's with other people or most importantly, when it's within ourselves. So until next time, I will continue to dig out what I believe is something that we can discuss. And even in the comments, if you would like for me to discuss something, go ahead and leave a comment about what you would like for me to talk about, discuss, and share. And that's what we'll do. So until next time, we out. Peace.